Welcome to the Salt Strong Podcast, disrupting fishing entertainment as you know it. Prepare to laugh. Prepare to get to know fishing legends in a whole new and unfiltered way. And on occasion, you might even learn a thing or two about fishing. Here's your host, Joe Simons. Like diamonds.
ICAST this, ICAST that. RTD, shout out to old Captain Jeff. We're talking about closet insiders. We're talking about GPS on your phone GPS. Luke, got new Otis, a brand new Otis just came in your hands here pretty recently. After a lot of testing with that, we're going to get close to rolling that sucker out. Got a new Prawn. Got a lot of stuff to talk about. So we're back from the old ICAST convention in Orlando that goes on every year. This is our 11th year, Luke, if you can believe it.
Yeah, time's flying by. It's crazy. Yeah. It's pretty cool seeing a lot of the same people. So met a lot of cool people over there and a lot of new ones as well this year.
Yeah, if you don't know about ICAST, it's a huge convention. 14,000 people approximately. You have to be in the industry, if you will, to get in. I know some people finagle their way around that, but in general, it's shut off to the consumers. And it started off as a way for all the manufacturers out there to get their new products out. So this is the time of year, and this is the event where all the manufacturers from the Daiwas and Pure Fishing, even though Pure Fishing didn't show up this year, the Quantum, down to the Z-Man and every brand you can imagine, and many brands you've never even heard of, are all showcasing their new stuff. And to put in perspective, this has been going on for decades. I mean, longer than Luke and I have been in the business, longer than some of you guys have been alive, and meaning pre-internet. So, pre-internet, this is where everyone went to go see and touch the new stuff. And then all the sales reps would go out and show all the mom and pop tackle stores, hey, here's all the new stuff. Now, of course, you got the internet. It changed a lot of it, but kind of turned into a fun networking place. You do see some new stuff. I'll be honest, I'm disappointed. I feel like every year with the new stuff, it's like, and they have a whole new product showcase. And not to say it's bad. It's just It's almost like all these manufacturers just did a bigger version of stuff they've already had. I didn't see anything that was earth-shattering, did you? That was like, oh man, I need to buy that.
No, I mean, not really. The biggest thing was, I guess, the hype with those urchin-style lures and bass fishing. And so I actually went ahead and bought some. I was like, I got to try these for redfish. I'm sure they'll actually work, but I just don't think they'll be as good as the lures we typically use just for casting distance alone. They catch so much air that it'll be really hard to sneak up on a big red up in shallow water with it when you can't cast very far. So.
It's like casting a wiffle ball. It's got, if you haven't seen this, it looks like a sea urchin, but it's all plastic. And it's the hottest selling lure for bass fishing right now by far. Like Sportsman's Guide, who we teamed up with. If you don't know, if you're an insider member, you get free Sportsman's Guide membership as well. And they sell a lot of freshwater stuff, and they can't keep them in stock. Z-Man was saying the same thing. Like it's their fastest growing thing by far. You were looking at some of those new trays. What was that tray called again? We'll give them a shout. Those were nice.
Yeah, there's a company called Evolution that makes some tackle trays that are waterproof, and they just have like the one latch instead of like the three latches that the traditional tackle trays have, and very impressive. And so we're looking at those just for like normal terminal tackle. They also have them for lures that you can customize the size of the bends, but then they have another one that's literally designed like a full tackle tray, and multiple companies had this. Like every tackle bag manufacturer you could think of is there, but they have tackle trays that are designed just for these urchin lures. So it's definitely a big hype on the freshwater side, and I'm really curious to see how it'll do saltwater. So.
Who would have thought they'd be making tackle trays for these sea urchin things that bass fishermen are using?
Well.
It sounds like, what the heck is going on? Like AI made this thing up, and all of a sudden they work. So yeah, and they have a big tank in the middle of the show, and they got guys pitching. And I was watching what it looked like. It is pretty interesting. Didn't see the bass attack it though. There's a lot of bass in that tank, and I didn't see them going after, which I thought was interesting. But maybe maybe they had some of the beer that was there on the floor. The bass, that is. Kind of another cool one though. So Steve Harvey was there. They gave Bill Dance an award for just all the impact that he's made in the in the fishing world, both salt and fresh. And Bill was there, at 84 years old, I believe. They're walking the floor the whole day and shaking hands. And Steve Harvey, if you don't know it, is Family Feud. He's a pretty famous guy, so he's really big into fishing. And I knew that part, but I didn't know his story about Bill Dance. And apparently, without telling the full thing, he's like, I'm only here and alive because of Bill Dance. Because I was so poor, essentially homeless, like living in his car when he was trying to be a stand-up comedian. And he was going to like Radio Shacks and Circuit Cities back in the day because, they had TVs on display that were usually on. And he would watch free TV on like Saturday mornings. He would go watch Bill Dance and, in a Radio Shack to learn how to catch fish to keep him alive. Like literally had not enough money to eat sometimes. Like I ate bass every single week just to stay alive while living in my car as a homeless comedian. And so mad props to Bill Dance, and the story's pretty wild. And now Steve Harvey has a whole nonprofit where he's given back, and I think it's 20-something thousand kids, like kids from the hood and stuff, that he's been able to get out fishing and teach them some cool life skills. And I thought that was awesome. I mean, that was my probably favorite part about ICAST, besides just seeing a lot of good friends. But if you want to go there to see a lot of new stuff, you're probably going to be disappointed. I feel like every year just kind of gets worse and worse. Like, Yeti will come up with a bigger bucket, a 10-gallon Yeti bucket for $140. And I'm being a little sarcastic, but it just seems like the new product stuff is like, but just to be there and to see that many aisles of just cool stuff and stuff that you can feel. We found one lure, we won't spill the beans on it yet, but we did find a lure that, because I don't even say where it's from, but not in America. You got some of these manufacturers that are coming over from Europe and China and Japan, just wanting to show off some new things that they've made. And we found one that was kind of a booth, not getting much of attention. We're like, man, this lure looks really, really good and might crush it. And so I guess we had two different ones like that were kind of no-name brands that you would never know even if I said it. And you're like, this might work. So stay tuned on that. Luke hopefully will be testing them out. Bad news, we didn't get a ton of samples. So don't lose that one. Don't be tying a crappy knot for those lures.
Yeah. The overall population size is one for a couple lures I have, but yeah, we'll be testing out and really, I'm like you said, I was like underwhelmed with the new products, and especially the more I've done these lure tests, where I test in different sizes, different colors, and the more I realize that it's all about finding the fish. So like all these fancy lures, even these perching things, it's all about finding fish and getting something that looks at least somewhat edible in front of them. And so, I'll be testing lures out. I guess I'll be surprised if there's any huge noteworthy impacts, but every once in a while there is, and that's why that's when we go out and make a new lure. So typically for every, like, just so you know, we now have like 8 or 9 custom lures, and for every one of those, there's been 10 or more, probably 20 or more that just really weren't noticeably better than what's out there. So yes, we got some samples. The odds of them coming out are pretty small, but if they are, we'll of course keep you posted.
Yep. And before we get into the new Otis and the new Prawn and some of this stuff, let's talk about closet insiders. So Captain Peter Deeks termed this phrase, and Peter is over on the East Coast, and there's a lot of really experienced inshore saltwater anglers over there. Obviously on the West Coast as well, and all throughout the country. But East Coast, they got some hardcore guys and gals, and he'll run into some of these people and just be chatting with them, and through conversation, he'll find out, or they'll slip up and say, "Oh yeah, I was marking that on my Smart Spots app." And be like, "What? Like, you're an insider member?" Like, "Oh yeah, I don't really talk about it." And so he's like, there's some really experienced anglers who never post in the community, and you would never know they're members, but they're paying for access to Smart Spots, documenting all their catches, using it for the tracks and routes. And so he calls it a closet insider member. And he's like, it's shocking how many really good anglers he meets that are insider members and just don't talk about it. I don't want to say they're embarrassed by it, because it's not a club for beginners. There are beginners in there, and there's probably more weekend warriors than anything else, but shocking amount of even full-time guides and really experienced anglers. And we met a couple. I was shocked at some people that came up to us, and I don't have permission to use their names, but very experienced anglers that had said, yeah, man, like I've been a member for years and I love it. Don't post. But I mean, I use the heck out of your stuff, both tackle and the smart fishing spots. And I was like, oh, it's so cool. I was like another closet insider member, which is pretty fun. I know you had some as well, Luke, that have come up, and Captain Ryan Harrington, we're allowed to use his name, but I mean, he uses it on his trips and documenting all his catches there. And similar. I mean, he was like at first, am I going to use this? And he's like, holy smokes, like this is a next level app. And obviously he's using some of the tackle as well. Now, are the pros and the guides going through all the tutorials and the mastery courses and the cheat sheets? No, let's be honest. They don't really necessarily need to go through that. Now, there can be some stuff, even old Hollywood, who's an old gristled angler of, many decades out in the water, has learned some stuff from some of the knots that we've tested. But in general, the super experienced and advanced anglers are using it for smart fishing spots, for documenting all their catches, obviously for tides and weather and all the other stuff that's in there, and just getting tackle discounts. I mean, we have many pros that love saving 20% or more on their tackle and use it that way.
Yeah, and just the newer features in the app where the tracking system is now like working incredibly well. The phone doesn't have to be actively on; it can be in sleep mode, and it still tracks. And on top of that, for catch logs too, I just upload pictures into the platform, and each of these little icons is a catch. Just got to tap on it, and you'll see the catch pops up, as well as I missed it here, but yeah, the catch pops up as well as the tides and weather. You can see, pulls in the tides and weather based on the tide of the catch, and that can be filtered over time, so that if I'm fishing in the month of August on incoming tide and the wind's coming from the north, I can filter down and see exactly what catches I've had and where they were, most importantly. So,
and it just gets you better. You can see that track that you did and be like, man, the 90-10 zone, right? I wasted so much time over here. I should have just gone straight here versus doing all these, loops. So it's another way to keep learning, keep getting better, and it documents all your catches. It's private to your eyes only. We don't use it. We don't share it. Never goes out to anyone else. Just a way for all of us to get better. Because we usually always remember our last fishing trip, but we don't remember what happened a year ago or even months ago, at least for me. And I love looking back and say, oh man, I forgot how awesome, August was in 2025. I need to go back out to some of these same areas during the same tide, et cetera. Really, really powerful. So that's the GPS. We did a whole video on it. It's on the YouTube channel showing how to essentially turn your phone into a fish finder. I mean, that's what some of the guides even says. Hey, I find myself using this, more than I am my electronics. The electronics you need if you are, fishing Sebastian Inlet. Obviously, Peter Deeks relies heavily on his electronics for, to see what's under the water. But in terms of just normal GPS navigating and documenting his catches, he's using the Smart Fishing Spots app. It is bar none the best out there, and it's got everything. I mean, I was just out there scalloping with the kids, and there was a storm coming. I mean, I'm using it for radar to see where the lightning's coming from. All that stuff is in one place. Super helpful.
Absolutely.
So let's move on to tackle. I know a lot of you are interested in tackle. We started it off with tackle. What do you want to tackle first, Luke? Hi, pun of the day. You want to do the Otis or the
we'll do the Otis. So yeah, we've had the Otis 2500 out for probably 3 years now, and this took like 5 years in the making. Just like I was talking about lures, I don't even know how many reels we tested. At least 30.
You still have a graveyard of ones that we tested.
Yeah. And so launched the Otis just in the one size. We just wanted to make sure that this thing is fully ready we already knew it worked, for 6 months to a year, was the time of testing. And now it's been out in members' hands, really from Texas, all on the Gulf, up north of Virginia on the Atlantic. It has been used and abused by a lot of anglers for multiple years, and that thing flat out is working incredibly well. So we decided it's time to make a bigger version. So now we have the Otis 3000, Still very lightweight relative to other 3,000 size reels. It's 7.6 ounces. Has plenty of drag. We'll have all the specs out when it comes out, but very smooth, very light, and looks cool too. So really excited. I'm going to spool this thing up and take it out tomorrow for the debut trip. But as far as looks and feel, and it's super smooth, just like the 2500. And I'll be surprised. This is obviously from the same manufacturer, so this one is most likely going to be ready to rock. I'm just going to go out and test it, make sure to get into some big snook and reds, and maybe hook into a tarpon, just see how it handles. But yeah, really excited about this. Light, smooth, and strong.
Left how nonchalant you are. Yeah, I'm going to catch all these fish, maybe hook into a tarpon. Let's see if I'm bored or not.
Well, that's what I'm going for. Whether it works or not, we'll see.
So what's the weight on that one? I miss it.
7.6 ounces. Yeah. It's much lighter than most 3,000 size reels. Most reels that can handle salt and big fish are usually heavier than that.
Yep. Yeah, usually start with an 8, 9, or even 10 in some cases, some of the bulkier ones.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Another cool thing coming out, this will be in the winter, but this is the final samples. I've been testing this out. This is it's basically called the micro prawn. So this
is dirty,
like the prawn lures that we've been doing, but it's smaller. So the prawn junior is 3.5 inches, and this bad boy is 2.5 inches, and it flat out gets strikes. I was testing out the original version. The original sample came in this neon green color that I hated, but it worked shockingly well. At my first drop, I was fishing snook lights, at night for snook, just to see how much abuse it could take. And my very first drop hooked in a 30-incher. And this is a dock that I fish all the time. I've actually never hooked a snook that big under that dock. The bigger ones typically are very smart. And yeah, this smaller profile immediately hooked the big one.
Does that glow in the dark?
It looks like it would, but it doesn't.
That thing is like Chernobyl green.
Yeah, and then on just one of them, it was probably like 20 snook caught on this one tiny little lure, and it was in perfect condition, like no blemishes. This material is different, so it's a different material than what our prior prawns have been made of. It is very strong, but still flimsy enough to have just a great lifelike motion in the water. It's like the perfect combo of strength and flex. So really happy about that. And speaking of, we have the prawn junior, like our current prawn sizes made out of that same material. And those are actually coming out real soon, like July, August soon. They're going to be any moment now. Again, same thing, same overall shape, but these things are incredibly strong. I was throwing one of the bigger ones out along reefs and just going drifting through like Boca Grande channel, just getting grouper snapper and just again seeing how much abuse it can take. And with just one lure, I still haven't lost it, and I've had to at least caught 30, 40 fish on it, mostly grouper and jacks. Wow. And mangrove snapper, and same thing, like not even like an eye has been pulled off, nor even like a little tip of the tail. It is like in perfect condition. So this is like
it's not unbreakable. You could, if you tried, you could, or can you? Have you ripped it?
Yeah, I could. Yeah, I can. If I like grab real hard and like pinch down and pull really hard, just like any soft plastic, it will pull off. But obviously, like it's not a smart thing to do. But as far as just the fish being able to mess with it, like grouper in particular and snapper are really good at messing up soft plastics. They have those strong jaws and sharp teeth, and the fact that it's just getting through those fish without getting damaged has been. Again, I knew it was going to be strong just by feeling. You can tell that it's stronger material, but it has been very impressive on how it's withstood. I don't have any definitive puffer attacks yet on it. I have been throwing it up on grass flats where typically there are puffer fish, but again, if they have struck it, they haven't messed it up. But I don't have visual proof of one going up and hitting it and it still being fine. Puffers are the one thing that probably will mess it up, I'm guessing. But
it'd be really cool to find a puffer flat, which is not hard. Like once you find them, and set up a couple GoPros and kind of have that shrimp just popping and watch what happens. I'd be interested to see that.
Yeah, if it is puffer proof, that'll be amazing because those fish are shockingly good at biting through lures. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. And again, so far it's
puffer proof prawn.
Yeah, that would be awesome if we can have that. It's kind of like a bear proof cooler. Puffer proof soft plastic is like the ultimate.
Call it Yeti. So cool. Yeah. So if you're wondering, all right, why don't you guys make everything out of that? We are going to probably have most of the molds. The bad news is it costs more. This is a very unique material that we've come across and found. I don't think I've seen anything like it. I mean, Z-Man has something that's similar, but this is even, in my opinion, better. So bad news is it obviously costs more per lure, but I mean, Luke's point, you just caught 30 something fish and it's still can't even tell that it's been used. Yeah. So these things, assuming you don't break off, should last forever, last a long time.
Yeah. The con is really, it's just rigging it is a little bit more difficult. So that's the only con. I do have some ideas to alleviate that and actually make it easier to rig. But at least as far as these first ones, they're awesome. They're bulletproof. They're still easy to rig. Like as long as you are comfortable rigging soft plastic, you can definitely rig it. But yeah, once it's on there, like this is just the normal round eye jig head. Like once this thing's on there, like it will not come off. Like it is on there. It's incredibly strong, and more importantly, it'll not get ripped up by fish either. So really pumped about that. And yeah, again, those will be out real soon. They've already passed testing.
Fishstrong.com. We'll send an email to you insiders first. And if you are a member, I mentioned earlier, Sportsman's Guide, take advantage of that. We've got a bunch of members who have. Some have said, hey, I've already saved like $300 this year just from some of the big purchases on Sportsman's Guide, because Sportsman's Guide has discounts even on electronics, trolling motors. I mean, all your freshwater stuff, your hunting stuff. If you're getting ready for hunting season, your new deer stand or deer blinds. I brought some deer blinds. Obviously, they got some of the best deals ever on ammo. It's completely free. The membership is free to insider members. If you need instructions, just Google Salt Strong Sportsman's Guide on our site and you'll see the blog pull right up, or hit up customer service. We'd help you out. But yeah, you get a free membership with your insider membership. So use it. It is a cool benefit, and they have so much stuff and all kinds of hunting apparel as well. If you need new camo, great place to get gifts. They have some unique stuff in the military surplus too. You've seen some of the wild things they have there, like gas mask and stuff.
Yeah, they get new stuff in all the time, and even bullets too. A lot of our members do hunting and shooting as well. So yeah, bullets on discount plus all the hunting and camp gear you could think of.
Otherwise known as ammo. What I just said. So yeah, bullet. Do you know ammo is the same as bullets?
I didn't hear ammo, but either way, they're covered.
But
I thought you said camo.
I did say camo too on the apparel side, but yeah, ammo for God.
Either way, lots of discounts, and we do have a discount page as well where just other third parties have because we deny any sponsorships directly with Salt Strong, and so companies can sponsor essentially members, and in there's kayak, there's all sorts of stuff from third parties, but Sportsman's Guide has by far the biggest selection of discounted products.
That's it. And it's completely free if you're a Salt Strong Insider member. If you haven't joined, go to saltstrong.com, join us, get access to the smart fishing spots, all of our tackle discounts, all the discounts at Sportsman's Guide, and the list just keeps going on and on and on. Otherwise, we'll call it a day here. Just wanted to give you an update on a lot of stuff happening. None of them were like long enough to do a full podcast. Like, man, let's just talk about all the cool things that happened here in the past week or so. So comment down below if you have any questions on any of this, if there's anything that you want to hear us talk about next or see us talk about next. Comment down below and let us know. Otherwise, we'll talk to you on the next episode. Peace. We out.
See ya.
'Cause fishing, it's in my soul.